Hello everybody, and welcome back to Vintage Story. Today, as always, got some work to do. And as you can see, I'm out here on my brand new beautiful farms here. We got all of these babies set up, and I've been doing a little bit of work tilling them up already. We have a very expansive farm out here, and it is going to be an absolute bear to till all of this. I went ahead and crafted up. As you can see, we have 3 of these iron hoes, so we're probably going to be going through every single one of those. The grass is proving troublesome as well. You kind of have to break each individual grass as you're going in order to till the ground here, so it's going to be a lot of work. But we definitely want to get this tilled up before the water starts to thaw here. That way we can get everything planted up as soon as we can. You can see we are in spring in the upper left, but it is still very cold, -5 degrees up here. So we are in a little bit of a rush to get all of our farms set up in time, but I definitely think it is going to be worth it. The other thing that you can see, we have all of our refractory bricks ready to go, so steel making is definitely just on the horizon here. One other quick little update, I found a bighorn ram, so both of our goats here should be able to mate pretty soon here. Just got to make sure we keep them fed, and then they'll be able to mate and give us milk, because if we're going to be going to the Resonance Archives, we're going to want a perfect diet to get as much HP as possible, so dairy is definitely going to be a big factor in that. So milking those goats is definitely a priority for us. Getting our steel turned into steel ingots and making our plate armor is definitely going to be in the cards, and then growing a massive flax field so we can craft a ton of those really good linen honey bandages. That is definitely in the cards as well. So a lot of chores, a lot of work, and a lot of preparation on the horizon, but that is the joy of Vintage Story. Just slow, steady progress, watching your homestead grow and expand. I'm going to get back to work doing our farm job here. Probably going to take a couple days to get all of this tilling done, I have a feeling, but it is going to be worth it in the long run for sure. We definitely want to get our flax going as soon as possible. That stuff cannot come soon enough. And yeah, as we're kind of working on the homestead, waiting for our ghosts to get pregnant, waiting for our crops to grow, doing all that prep work before we do the Resonance Archives, I do also want to start beautifying this place a little bit. We are kind of in a very functional homestead. Our house is pretty nice, but everything else is pretty much just function over form at this point. So, I did make like kind of a wide gap here so we can have a 2 wide sort of gravel path leading around our farms. I have some plans in mind for how to make this place kind of pop and look a little bit more interesting and beautiful. So as we're waiting, as we're doing all of our prep, that is definitely going to be something we're going to focus on a little bit more, is decoration. But there are just so many chores on the list. We need so much charcoal in order to make the steel that we're planning on making. So, making that charcoal is definitely a priority as well. And yeah. That is the plan for right now, just a lot of work on the horizon. I'm going to keep up the farm work here, the back-breaking labor, slowly tilling each one of these fields up. But these fields are going to be a nice long investment for us. Definitely glad that I was able to get them set up with all the water and all the medium fertility soil. Now it's just a matter of tilling it all up. I'll let you guys know once I am ready with the fields. Alright, just a little bit more tilling to go here. We have made big progress, very slow progress, but we are nearing the end here. So just a few more in-game hours, I feel like, and we will be done with this. Alright, there we go. A lot of work, a lot of in-game days, or I guess 2 in-game days, not a lot, have passed. Almost all 3 of our iron hoes have been gone through, have been worked through. But we have it. We have our farm, only a few little splotchy patches of dry soil. Hopefully these will get all watered up soon enough here. Just keep breaking the ice blocks that are nearby. But yeah, our farms are set up. That feels absolutely great. I think maybe we need to replace these grass blocks in case we leave this fence open, so no rabbits or anything can spawn on that. But I am feeling so good. That was so much work, so much right-clicking. I can't even believe it, but we have our beautiful, beautiful farms ready to go. This one up here, this is the one that's a little bit cooler, so you can see we're at negative 1.7. If we come down here, negative 1.3. Also negative 1.8. I mean, I guess we are standing right next to ice. I think that's affecting our temperature. This one maybe is a little bit cooler, actually. I don't know, my initial plan was to do the rye and like the more heat resistant or the more heat weak crops up here. When I initially kind of did my adventuring, I seem to remember that this little plateau had the lowest temperature. But for now, the plan is this field right here will be rye and I think carrots. And then down there, one of these will be a big sort of flax farm. Whatever flax and the other crops that take the same element as flax. I think it's potassium that flax requires. And then once we do a big harvest over here, we can kind of rotate between these two fields for our flax and those crops and everything else that kind of takes a nutrient other than potassium. So that's kind of the plan here, is we'll be rotating between these two fields. For now, these fields will be kind of fallowing up a little bit, so hopefully their nutrient values will rise as they are all tilled and just sort of resting until things get a little bit warmer, because in the mornings it's still like negative 15 or something like that. So it's definitely too cold to grow some of these crops. Speaking of food, you can hear and see some baby piglets have been born. The female pigs are aggressive when there are piglets nearby, but we did have our first birth here. I don't think that female boars can be milked after giving birth. I don't know if pig milk sounds very good, but you know, pigs are mammals, so you'd think that they would be lactating after giving birth. Okay, I don't think we can milk the pigs. The female goats, I don't believe, are aggressive after giving birth, however, so let's go ahead and make sure we keep our female goats fed up. We still have a ton of flax grains that we can feed them. Also, speaking of food, a lot of our old crocks are starting to, you know, spoil a lot more quickly. You can see our pies are only good for like 20-some days now, and this is only good for 10 days. So we're going to have to start eating through our crocks of food that we prepared. These are our nice scrambled eggs here. Delicious stuff. Yeah, hopefully now that it's considered spring, our bees will start propagating again. I don't know if that glitch that we were getting with our skeps is still going on here. If we look at this skep, it still says 0 flowers nearby here, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that one. This one also says 0 flowers. This one says 92 flowers, so I'm not really sure what's going on. All of these are classified as flowers, so some weird kind of situation with our skeps. Hopefully that's just a bug. Yeah, man, it feels good to be in spring. It is positive 2 degrees outside right now. Starting to get a little warm. You know, maybe we can take off our winter clothes sometime soon here. Our farms are looking absolutely beautiful down there. With that big job behind us, what I think our next job for today is let's get to work on the biggest charcoal pit we have ever made, because we are going to need an ungodly amount of charcoal in order to get the steel making process underway here. I'm just going to sort through my inventory a little bit here, get everything stored away, get as much open inventory as possible, and we are just going to chop down so much wood. We do have one spare axe here that we can use. We're already getting a little limited on space here. I might need to make some more chests. Alright, so we got some chests. For now, I'm just going to stick my extra items inside of one of these. Cleared our inventory, except for the axe. So with that taken care of, let's get this on our back here. Bring this on down. And all of those beautiful pine trees will shortly become charcoal here. I think we do have some more refractory bricks inside of our pits here that we can grab up. Yes, all of these are ready to go. The last little batch is ready to go, so maybe we'll grab that as well. For right now, let's stay focused. Ooh, yes, our berry bushes. In 8 days, we're going to start getting a ton of berries again. We'll make sure to harvest those this year. Maybe we turn them into rot, since we'll be getting so many of them. But right now, you know what? I think I'm just going to chop down every single one of these pine trees. We did replant up a bunch of them over here. And if we need to start replanting more pine trees, there's so many back there that we can start getting the leaves from and getting our pine cones from. I think right now I'm just going to stay focused on the wood gathering. We'll probably get a few pine cones in the process here. But if you want to stay on top of managing your forest, you're definitely going to want to use those shears to get the pine cones. I'm just being a little bit impatient. So we already have 2 pine cones here for the 4 trees that we cut down. I'm just going to, I think, clear as much of this forest as I can with our inventory. And we're going to get most of this turned into charcoal. A nice calm rift activity evening tonight, just in time for our big tree gathering here. We already have 15 pine cones. I mean, we've definitely cut down quite a few trees, but 15 pine cones, oh, make that 16. That is not too shabby for not even using 17, for not even using our shears. So we're going to be able to plant back a good number of these, even without focusing on shearing the leaves. All right, we have pretty much cleared our entire little pine forest over here. We got 22 pine cones back, so we're going to get all of those planted up again. Make sure we reforest the area at least somewhat. So a good little extra pine forest on the way here. Moved it back a little bit from where it was before to keep some more space from our berries, but I filled the entire CarryOn chest with wood, and then we have a little bit of overflow here. I'm going to go ahead and grab our refractory bricks here, our last little batch. And this should be everything we need to get started on our furnace. Let's get back to our base. It is still a calm rift activity out tonight. So nice chill evening of relaxing crafting ahead of us. Alright, so I think I'm going to make use of this space right here. Let's move our slabs somewhere a little bit less conspicuous for the time being. Right over there. And then this whole area, we're going to dig it maybe 3 deep. Oh, I don't have my shovel. We'll dig it maybe 3 deep and just absolutely pack that thing full of firewood. Oh, you know what? This is overlapping with our cellar. Maybe we don't do that. I guess we have to do it outside of the confines of our little fenced-in area, but that's fine for tonight. Go ahead and get our lantern set up. Maybe we just do it over here where we did our last. Get out our shovel here and get to digging. The last time I did a charcoal pit, I just made it really long and 1 deep, and I think there is like a length limit to how far the charcoal pit can burn. So I think we'll keep it to this size as far as like length and height goes. Maybe we make it a square. Don't know if, I mean, even all the logs that we gathered, I could do the math and figure out exactly how many. Every full stack of wood gives us 2 full blocks worth of firewood. So maybe we see how much wood we actually have and kind of work from there. We have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 40 blocks worth of firewood. This little pit, so what do we need? We need a 4x5 2 deep. So let's get 4x5 2 deep. Even with all those trees cut down, wasn't as big as I was hoping it would be. So let's get to chopping here. So let's start with our damaged axe. And let's see, we put in 1 here, and yes, that gives us 2 32s, which is 2 full blocks. So we did do our math correct. Let's go ahead and start laying this stuff down. All right, there's a full hot bar full of firewood. Let's get going. There is a mod that lets you kind of make firewood chopping into a more immersive activity where you have to like lay the log on the ground and split it into firewood 1 at a time. I've seen somebody doing a playthrough on YouTube using that mod, and it seems like it'd be pretty immersive and interesting, but when it comes to making massive charcoal pits like this, I would just imagine that mod being an absolute hellhole. Imagine having to chop every single one of these logs individually. Alright, almost there. That was so much wood. I thought it would be a lot larger than this, but I guess this is what we're working with. So much wood to get this charcoal done. That is absolutely crazy. Boom, and there we go. Our charcoal pit is ready here. Let's get the rest of our dirt on top of here. We are ready to go here, so we need a piece of grass. Oh, I also noticed our rift activity changed from calm into medium, so we might actually be getting some drifters here pretty soon. Oh, speak of the devil, I can hear him out there. Man, okay, so they're going to be blocking off our operation right now. And with all the drifters out, maybe we just go ahead and sleep the night off. Get a little bit more progress towards the warm spring where we can start growing our crops. See you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Having a little bit of scrambled eggs for breakfast here. Lovely, lovely stuff. Speaking of scrambled eggs and feeding our animals, I keep forgetting to give our grain to our goats. So make sure we do that this morning here. It is a beautiful, bright and sunny morning, already almost positive in the temperature range. Let's get back to work on our little, not so little, charcoal pit here. Get this going. And plug her up. Boom. Smoking peacefully. That is going to be a huge, huge amount of charcoal. Hopefully we'll have enough for a load of steel with all of that, plus what we already had. Make sure we feed our goats this morning. Make sure to keep your distance from the ram because he will attack you if you get too close. Ouch, as you can see right there. Alright, yet another job under our belts here today. We'll get this chest back inside. Alright, and once that charcoal is done, I think we'll be ready to get to work on our steel making. So I think we should work on making an iron door. And that's what we're going to need for making the sort of steel production area. Alright, so the iron door is going to cost us 6 steel plates, so 12 steel ingots. I don't know if we have that many made up right now. No, we do have 12. Okay, so maybe we can just get to work making those plates right now. So let's get our helve hammer hooked up here. We do have a moderate breeze, not the best wind conditions. Alright, there we go. Helve hammering away. That nice clank, clank, clank. And we are going to need 6 plates here. So let's start getting those. I also still have my chest on my back, I realized. Let's just stick that down for right now. So that's going to be 2 plates right there. We'll get those cooking up, get those heating, and then get a couple more right there. Probably going to need to use a little bit of extra brown coal. I put in 2 pieces per. Maybe we could get away with just 1 piece per, but the wind is a little slow right now, so I want that extra heat, I think. Oh, and just as I say that, it's shifting between gale and moderate breeze, so maybe we'll have a nice little bit of wind here to work through our plates. We have 6 plates on the menu right now, so let's wait till this hits 900, and then we'll get our first plate going. Alright, first plate in production. I don't think the goats actually become aggressive when they have babies. Ooh, I see. That gave me a little bit of a scare right there. We'll go ahead and get this full right there, 8 portions. Maybe we also try and find another female goat. There were a decent number of goats over on that mountain. They seem to have respawned with the new season here. Alright, there's the first plate. Get our next one going. Get that cooled down, and that is the first of 6 for us here. So the other thing we're going to need is 2 granite coffin sections, I believe. So we're going to need some solid granite rocks, 3 of these. Fortunately, I think we have plenty of granite in our little stone over there. While that is helve hammering away, let's check out our granite rock. Yeah, we have 108. So we're going to need to cut off some solid granite rock from that. Yeah, so I think we need to make up a rough cut chisel as well. That will give us the rock. I mean, we could always just go relieve some rock if we need to, but I kind of want to have all of the chisel options. Next plate is already good to go here. Get the next one going. Let's get 3 more heating up here. 1 for our chisel and 2 for another plate. Alright, we'll get this 1 ingot here, and let's get a rough cut chisel. Looks like it's just a cutting job here. There we go, rough cut chisel. Very nice. Now we can get the granite rocks from our supply. Beautiful stuff. Oh, and our next plate is ready to go here. Get the next one going. That'll be 5, so we do need 1 more, so 2 more ingots, and we will have all of the plates. Our iron supply is looking a little pitiful here. I mean, we have so many blooms in the backup. We just really haven't been hammering them out. When we get a big wind boost, I think we're going to be doing a lot of iron bloom hammering. Make sure we get all of the ingots we need to turn into steel. Alright, there's our 5th plate. Beautiful stuff. And once these are heated up to 900, we'll be able to get our last 6th plate. Get these on the slammer. Boom. Last iron plate in the works. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves, I think it was 6 granite rocks. Yeah, 6 granite rocks for the 2 halves of the coffin. So we need our hammer in our offhand and our rough chisel here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. So much easier than having to relieve every single one of those. Boom. 2 pieces of the granite stone coffin ready to go. And back in our little dungeon here, it looks like our 6th and final plate is officially ready to go. And that is our iron door. Get all of those lined up. Very expensive, but we have it. You can find these without having to make them, but we have not been that fortunate, so we have a ton of iron in reserve, still so much that we can mine as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and craft it up. That is the first 2 pieces of our puzzle here. Now, the next thing we're going to need are the refractory brick blocks. So, when we were making all the stone for our windmill, we have a ton of mortar left over, which is what we will need to combine with our refractory bricks, just like this. And there we go, refractory bricks tier 2. All of these beautiful things crafted up. 64 beautiful tier 2 refractory bricks. Oh, actually, I think I made a mistake. I think we're gonna have to craft a few more of these actually. We need to make refractory brick slabs. We have 8 of these left over. We still have ingredients left. Oh man, that was a mistake. Well, we'll have leftovers for the inevitability that some of them break. Let's go ahead and maybe get 1 more stack crafted up here. Refractory bricks, 32. Maybe we'll get 64 of these. We'll get these baking up in our fire pits. It'll take a little bit more time. I shouldn't have done all 64 as the normal bricks. We need like the flat slab versions as well, but we have a ton of mortar left over. Still a good amount of these materials, so let's go ahead and just craft these into bricks and be a little bit more mindful how we spend them this time. Okay, so yeah, if we look at the steel making explanation here, we need refractory brick gratings, the 2 stone coffin sections. We also need 2 stone coffin lids, which takes powdered borax. Fortunately, we have a lot of that stuff. We'll need 2 more granite rocks. And then you can see here the gratings, we only need 6 of these. 6 bricks makes 3 of them, so we'll have a lot of leftover bricks if we bake all 64 of these up. And I definitely think the place where we stick this is going to be right next to the beehive. We got some drifters out here making a nuisance of themselves. Right here, I think, is where we're going to have our steel making operation. Let's get inside while these drifters are acting up. It is only -3 degrees while it is, you know, deep into the night, so I think we might be good to start planting our crops very soon here. It is the 1st of April, so March has come and gone. It is now April, and I think we get planting our crops tomorrow morning as we wait for our refractory bricks to bake up. So let's go ahead and get the grass, sticks, and peat that we're going to need for our burn pits downstairs. As it is medium activity, I don't feel 100% safe running outside. I still have my lantern over by our charcoal pit as well. Speaking of which, it's probably finished. Not quite finished. So let's go ahead and sleep the night off, and in the morning we'll get our burn pit set up. And let's look into planting up our crops as well. Good morning, everybody. It is a balmy -7 early in the morning here. I think it still might be a little too cold for our crops, so we're going to hold off on that for right now. Let's go ahead and get down to our burn pits, get our 64 refractory bricks cooking up. Very peaceful, tranquil morning here. The thaw is definitely coming in. The butterflies are out and about. The grass is starting to look very green and beautiful. All right, here we are back at our pits. Go and get 12 per pit here. All right, burn pits ready to go. So a little bit of a delay here from my careless crafting, but we're going to need those extra blocks in the future, I'm sure. You know, maybe we can make up a second steel maker. I don't know if we'll ever need a second one, but you know, those bricks do have a chance of breaking, so having a backup supply on hand and ready to go will be nice. There we go. Another full 64 set of those bricks cooking up. Let's get back to the base. Let's check on our charcoal pit. I think that might be ready to go. Absolutely lovely. Make sure we grab our lantern back. It's been sitting out here lonely. Let's pop this baby open. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Beautiful stacks of charcoal here. Look at that haul. Absolutely great. Let's get all of this. There we go. That is all of our charcoal for the time being. Almost 4 full stacks of charcoal. Absolutely lovely. So I have a feeling all of our charcoal is definitely going to be used for this process here. We have 6 full stacks plus 12 extra. That is lovely stuff. We're going to need to craft up a bunch more blooms here as well. So we're going to get those going. So as we are waiting for our fire pits to finish up over there, probably have one more day. We can see them over in the distance, still burning. Probably have one more day. So I think we spend the day cooped up indoors, burning through our brown coal supply, and getting a bunch of blooms going. We have a really good wind going for us right now. Hurricane winds. So hopefully we can crank through these blooms really quickly. All right, take a look at that beautiful stack of iron. So we needed 4 layers for 2 firings worth of steel. So we have an extra layer of just extra iron ingots for whatever we need, but we can fire 2 full batches of steel with all this iron, plus 8 extra. I am feeling great about that. Go ahead and turn off our Helve Hammer for now. He is going to get a well-deserved rest here. Man, that was a lot of smelting. And we still have 41 blooms left after all of that work right there. Huge, huge night of crafting. It is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. We worked through the entire day and most of the night, but it was 100% worth it. We have such a good supply of iron. We have all this meteoric iron as well for tools and whatever. So we are super stacked on materials right now. But 32 of this, I am feeling we are going to commit to our steel making endeavors. And as I saw on the wiki, one batch of steel will take 168 pieces of charcoal. So we have more than enough charcoal for at least 2 full batches of steel. Man, that was so much prep work, but will it be worth it? 100%. So with all of that behind us, it's the dead of the night, and in the dead of the night, it's still getting down to about -8.8, almost -10 degrees. So I still think it's a little early to plant our crops. So we can keep focusing on what really matters here, and that is steel. I'm going to clear out all this grass from this part of the yard, and let's get to work making up our steel furnace. All right, all cleared. I think this will be enough space. You're going to have to see, I know once you start building your steel furnace, it'll give you sort of like the ghost outline of what you need to build. I know part of it involves you need to have like a little chamber underneath to put all of the charcoal, and then the rest of it you'll kind of construct on top of that. Again, I've never made steel before, so I am super excited to get to work on this. take a peek over our railing here, and yes, our little fire pits are done firing, so our bricks are finished, and we are ready for the next phase here. It is medium rift activity, but I don't hear any drifters. I think we might be safe to go down there and grab up our bricks. Do a little bit of a risky night adventure here. We don't have any of our armor on or anything like that. But we're just going to grab those bricks and dash back home as quick as we can here. The sun is already starting to peek over the horizon, so hopefully we are in the clear. There we go, one full stack of 64 bricks. Let's get back home. Oh, there are the drifters. Okay, they are coming out. Even though the sun is rising, they're still deciding to spawn. Get back in the safety of our home. Make sure we take care of our own hunger needs as well. We're getting a little peckish here. Still have quite a bit of bread and pie that we can eat through. So many onions that are going to last still for quite some time. These turnips and carrots, I think we can process, make these into vegetable pies, make sure we keep our vegetable diet up, our grain diet up. Really don't have any reason not to be eating pies for all of our stuff from now on. Make sure we're getting grain on top of the protein and the vegetable. And as soon as those berry bushes start sprouting, we're going to be getting some fruit in the diet as well. So I do know that there is this fruit press item. It's another thing I've never built before. Maybe we make up one of these. I think fruit press, like it makes juice maybe, and then it gives you like a waste product from the berries that you crush, and you can feed that waste product to your animals. I seem to remember seeing somebody do that in a video that I watched at one point, but that is beside the point here. Let's grab our mortar and craft up these beautiful grates. So we're going to need 6 of these. For our first little construction, plus all of our refractory bricks, steel door, granite coffin, and then we're going to need the coffin lid, which is some more granite stone here. So the granite stone coffin lids, we only need 2 of these. It's only 2 more little pieces of granite here, so let's just grab up that. 2 more pieces of granite. Alright, so the granite coffin lid, we get our hammer, our chisel, our powder borax, and our stone. Get 2 of those for our 2 stone coffin pieces. And I think with that, we have everything that we need to get our first batch of steel going here. So in order to set this up properly and nicely, I think we want to make like a little cobblestone area beneath to house our coal. So we need like a little area underneath the actual facility to burn. So we're going to make the foundation of this thing out of cobblestone, I feel like. So the whole thing is going to be a 5x5 block structure. So let's just sort of outline that. Maybe we get this a little bit farther away from our bees. All right, so this will be the basic foundation of the furnace. This raised area will be the back of it. This will be where the charcoal goes, and then we'll have this little pit that we can stand in when we're actually filling the charcoal inside of the furnace. All right, then what we need to do is actually place the brick pieces like this above the charcoal pit right there. And then the 2 coffin pieces will go on top just like that. This is where the steel will be made. And then yes, if we shift right click, it'll actually show you the overlay for everything that you need for this whole structure. So all of this, I believe, needs to be made out of the bricks, and then we will put the iron door on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and place like a little bit of a foundation underneath it. And you can get this overlay if you shift right click with an empty hand. It will show you the whole overlay that you need. We're going to go ahead and get a little bit of a foundation set up underneath here. And then let's go ahead and get our refractory brick blocks set up here as well. All right, so this is always scary because if we break these blocks, we don't get all the bricks back. We're going to place these down just like this, following the overlay. Boom, there's the first little component. And then we kind of just finish the outline of it. We don't need the corners, just the outline here. Beautiful. Then this right here will be our steel door. We're going to need to make some stairs into this thing. For right now, I'm just going to go with the janky little dirt staircase. But this right here is where our door will go. Let's get the next refractory brick block set up here. There's the steel door. That thing is looking awesome so far. We're going to need one more block on top here. These walls can come up all the way up 2 more bricks. We only need 1 brick right here. Go ahead and use like a little temporary dirt right there. Get that brick set up. All right, we're getting there. Yep, everything's looking good in here so far. All right, everything looking good so far. Let's go ahead and get back up there. Our little dirt temporary blocks. So what we're going to need to do is 3 blocks on each side, 1 inward, 1 block here and then 1 block there. Just like that. And we can use these temporary dirt blocks to kind of fill in the rest here. And there we go. We have finished our steelmaking furnace. I am very, very hopeful that this is correct. I don't see any more blocks on the overlay. I think we did this correctly here. And there she blows. Beautiful, beautiful steelmaking furnace. I think we are ready to get to work here, ladies and gentlemen. It was so much work getting to this point, but we have arrived. Let's make sure we set this thing up properly with a little bit of a staircase here, leading right into our door. Let's go ahead and grab up our charcoal. We have 11 remaining refractory tier 2s, so if any repairs need to be done, we have those ready to go. And we have some spare bricks if these refractory gratings break, and I do think that the coffin lid will break when you do this process as well, so we'll need to remake that. But I think we are good to go. I'm just a little spooked by the fact that this ghost block is still here. Not sure if that's just going to stay there forever or what the deal is, but I'm pretty sure we did this correctly. Oh, okay, so I got one more tip. If you shift-click on the coffin, it will tell you if anything is missing, and so when I shift-clicked it on the coffin, that little ghost disappeared. So I think that is the indicator that we are good to go here. Alright, so my fears have been calmed. The ghosts are no longer here haunting me, and everything looks good to go. Alright, I think it is time to get this thing filled up. So the process involves doing a layer of charcoal, followed by 4 iron ingots, layer of charcoal, 4 iron ingots. Repeat that process until the entire thing is full. So we're going to need 16 of our ingots, our hard-earned ingots here, and just a massive mess of charcoal. So let's grab, I don't know, 4 stacks of that. We are going to need to periodically refill the chamber underneath here. That's kind of why it's useful to have this little area. It might actually be a little bit easier if we move this back like 1 more block, just like that. And then we can place 1 more here, because when you place charcoal, it kind of spills around. So you can see we shift click, start stacking our charcoal here, and it spills backwards. So we want that extra little layer right there. And there we go. It is full. We are swimming in charcoal right now. Get this back. There we go. That is 2 full batches of charcoal. The whole thing is filled in there. Got a little bit more under our feet. And we're going to light that up when we are ready to do our steel. So let's get back in here. And we can place charcoal just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Charcoal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Charcoal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Charcoal. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 more layer of charcoal. And yes, we can see stone coffin lid is missing. So the final piece to the puzzle here, get the stone coffin lids. 1 right there. 1 right there. And we are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, can see, ready to be ignited, ignite a pile of coal beneath each half of the stone coffin. We have our coal in there. We can see it stacked up nicely. Let's go ahead and get the first little bit of fire going here. Boom. We are off to the races. So this whole process is probably going to take quite some time. When this charcoal burns out, you can replace it after it's burnt out. The process of the actual firing will not reset. We can't go in there, but we can open it and see it's okay, it's receiving heat, and we can see 0% complete. So we're going to have to periodically refill this. If the fire goes out, it will not lose progress. It'll stay, progressed at however many percent it has completed. So that is going to be the process. I don't know exactly how long it takes. I have a feeling it's going to take quite some time, but man, I am so excited. The final stage of Vintage Story, the final material, steel, is now in our grasp. That feels absolutely amazing. So I am just going to be babysitting this fire here, making sure we keep this thing stocked. There's nothing else on my mind right now than getting this steel. We want this steel. 0% complete still. This is going to take quite some time. The little guide that I was looking at said you'll probably have to fill the entire chamber 4 times. So it's going to be a ton of charcoal that we're going to be burning on this project. But it is 100% going to be worth it. Our fields are looking beautiful over there. I feel like we're probably right on the cusp of being able to plant things. They're still frozen. A couple of them seem like they have thawed out. Oh, most of our farmland has also dried. So yeah, I guess it's a good thing we haven't planted yet, because those farm plots are drying out as the ice is sort of freezing there. I don't know if maybe we place like the grates on top of this, if that prevents it from freezing. Maybe we give that a shot on a couple of these. We'll place like the little trap doors, I think they are, on top and see if that prevents the ice from freezing. Don't know if that's the case. The trapdoors are super simple, just 6 planks and 3 sticks gives you 2 of them. We're gonna need a ton of those things. Let's start out with our upper field here. This, I think, is the more heat-resistant field. So yeah, we can just place our little trapdoors on top like this. It's not aligned properly. Want to make sure it's aligned. We'll see if this actually prevents the water from freezing over. There we go, 12 trapdoors placed. Keep an eye on that. It definitely looks a lot better having the trapdoors here. I'm definitely going to want to place them on every single plot, especially if that actually prevents it from freezing. That would be huge. Let's check in on our goats over here. Are they pregnant yet? They're ready to mate and they've eaten 8 portions. Oh, is pregnant. Okay, so we have 1 goat that's already pregnant. I don't remember how many days it takes for them to give birth, but we're going to have to check on these guys every day. Make sure that we can get that milk ASAP as soon as they give birth. Still got some piglets in here. They haven't grown up. I already see our charcoal is burning down very slowly. It's down to 15 out of 16 that was originally there. But yeah, that is a job well done. I'm going to go ahead and sort through my inventory. And in the morning, what I think I want to do is I want to try and find another female goat. And we will use that to potentially get us some more milk. Good morning, everybody. I'm over at the little goat mountain over here. I checked on our steel. It's about 10% complete. And our coal is down to about 6, so we've burnt through a good amount of the coal. There's a male goat right there. See if we can't get ourselves another ewe. Oh, and there she is. Perfect timing. So it's going to be 2 hits from the Falk's Blade. Definitely dangerous, so maybe we go for a little bit of cheese here. Alright, there we go. She's running. And tap her with the cage. Boom. Beautiful milk on the way. Get our arrows back. Let's keep on looking. Maybe we can snag another one. Make use of our bow and arrow. Oh, the female's coming in too. Ah, I killed the female. No. That is the kind of the problem with like arrows in this game, is that if they fall on top of the animal, they just kind of continuously do damage like that. So we got like 4 hits worth of damage on this female deer, or female goat. Lot of meat though, not going to complain about that, but it would have been nice. Oh, you know what? I realized I only brought 1 cage with me anyways, so we couldn't catch another one if we wanted to. Alright, well, we got our objective. We got 1 more female, so another one that can get pregnant, another potential batch of milk for us. I did bake up a bunch more pies last night, so we have a ton of vegetable foods ready to go. Let's head on back to our base. Looking beautiful in the springtime. Everything's starting to come to life. Looking green and frosty and beautiful. Oh, would you look at that? There's another female ewe right over there. So we can come back with our cage and try and catch another one. I think we maybe avoid using the bow and arrow since that seems to do so much damage. Let's get our one in the cage, get her fed up with some flax seeds, and come grab another one. So we'll have 4 female ewes in there, 4 potential milk producers. Feeling very good. Very productive day so far. We'll also check in on our steel making, probably have to refuel our coal supplies over there. And we may be getting to the temperatures we can think about taking off our winter clothes as well. That is the true sign of spring. We can take off our winter clothes. Vintage Story is coming back to life. That transition from winter into spring, you really feel it in this game. It's super nice. Get her down right there. Beautiful. Oh, let's not forget to feed them. We're gonna have to think about getting some proper housing for our animals set up. I was saying I want to do some decoration around the base. I think proper barns for our animals, definitely on the agenda. Proper sort of roads all around. Replacing these weird kind of windy ones in our base. Make these maybe too wide, kind of just flesh out the whole in Enterprise here. Alright, on the road again. One more trip over to the mountain. Oh, would you look at that? All the frost already defrosted just in that little bit of time we were traveling back and forth. It's 5 degrees out here. Definitely starting to get a little warm. April 4th. I think what we do here is go for a sneaky headshot. Oh. Okay, the female is coming in. Oh no. Oh no. This is why we have our armor though. We're going for a hand-to-hand combat here. The Gamba's in. Damage isn't too bad. And there we go. Male down. That's why we have the armor equipped. And then the female, I think we go for the double strike with our sword. I don't want to get an accidental kill on her. Okay, 2 strikes didn't seem to be quite enough. Okay, now she's running. There we go. Don't run that way. Don't run that way. Okay, because they can run off the mountain and die, so gotta be careful. Make sure that she's running away from the edge of the death cliff. There we go. Took a few hits, but we got her. 1 more female for the collection. Pretty much all the goats in this area are gone. I think there was 1 more male. There's this little kid over here. Let's go back to our base and get our prize-winning goat into her home. Grab this resin while we're here. All of our resin trees have respawned for sure by now. We're kind of in the thriving mode here. I mean, we have steel, we have resources everywhere, we have our farms all set up. We are no longer struggling to survive. We have made a homestead for ourselves. Our little steel plant still kind of puffing smoke over there. Probably running pretty low though. Let's take a look. Definitely running low. I think we go ahead and just stuff this full of coal. I think we can do this. Alright. Oh. That was a mistake. I think we can get this back. Get our shovel out really quick here before it burns. Unfortunate. Okay, maybe we wait for it to fully burn out because we lost probably 4 pieces of charcoal to that little mishap there. So I think we wait for it to fully burn out before we restock it. Let's go ahead and get our last female goat in here. Restock the supplies. There we go. 4 females all ready to give us milk when the time comes. Just gotta make sure we keep them fed. And as the sun comes to a set on another beautiful day here in Vintage Story, I think that will wrap it up for today's episode. We got so much work done today, so much progress, absolutely huge progress. We have steel right around the corner. I am so excited for this to finish smelting up. We are going to make plate armor, we're going to make steel weapons, steel tools. I am super excited for what the future holds. And I hope you guys are excited to keep watching. Thank you everybody so much for watching today's episode and for sticking with me on this series. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.